Hi, everyone. Welcome to another one of our weekly podcasts, Donley Auctions Unfiltered. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You can hear the rain. It is coming. Big storm is a-brewing. But we are working like crazy. Rain, sleet, or snow. That's for sure. And we're going to go on.
Today's been a crazy busy day.
Always, every
mean,
day.
Picking up cars that sold at our last auction.
Yeah, a lot of pickups this week.
Oh, wow.
And then we just ran another auction today. So
Yeah.
we just finished 4 auctions. We have 1 auction today, 2 more next week.
We have a spectacular doubleheader of online-only auctions coming up this Thursday and Friday, both kicking off sharp at 10 a.m. First up on Thursday is Toys and Trains featuring the Larry Prosken collection. If you've been browsing the digital catalog, you already know this collection is unbelievable. Lot 601 is an absolutely stunning gold-plated MTH New York Central Hudson locomotive with tender that looks like it was strictly showcased for display in its original packaging. And for the Lionel enthusiasts, you cannot miss the Lionel Century Club Pennsylvania Sharknose diesel engine at Lot 600. The sheer variety of O-gauge gems waiting for you is going to make for an incredible Thursday morning of bidding. Then, without skipping a beat, we pivot on Friday to the American Old West, 1850 to 1920. This entire catalog is a breathtaking walk through frontier history, and the lots are phenomenal. A couple of pieces to watch out for include Lot 2003, a remarkably vibrant late 19th century Arapaho beaded knife sheath featuring classic greasy yellow and sky blue seed beads. There is also Lot 2000, a historic Rosebud Reservation artifact lot that features an exceptional selection of material culture, including a 1940 metal whisker puller complete with its original ink-written collector's tag from Victor Erickson. Remember, these are online-only auctions. You need to register and participate directly through our bidding platform. Thursday at 10 a.m. for Toys and Trains, and Friday at 10 a.m. for the American Old West. Head over to the website, find your favorites, and get your bids registered today.
Make sure you're watching our website at donleyauctions.com because it's hard to remember all the dates. So go to our website. Karen has everything listed there for you. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about in the podcast today.
That we do.
First thing we're going to do is head on into the museum and talk about the Koenigsberg auction.
Yes.
Yes.
The old museum from the Wild West town, we've just converted. Well, we are in the process of converting this into another auction hall.
Yeah.
And so we're adding 12,000 feet of showroom space to Donley Auctions. So now we can kind of flip-flop auctions instead of working out of one building, in and out, in and out, in and out. So this auction coming up in July is a Koenigsberg Phonograph auction.
Right.
And as I've told you a couple times already, my brother Mike has taken the lead on the phonograph auction. So I'd like to show you some of the stuff going on in here.
Can't wait to see it. Let's go
Good.
see.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Michael.
Yes.
Hey, there's Mike.
Yes.
Checking to see if I could give you a hand.
Oh.
Help you with anything you need help with.
What I was hoping is you could kind of show us what you've been up to these last weeks with the Koenigsberg auction. I see you're busy putting in descriptions and so on and so forth, but any highlights you want to talk to us about today?
Well, actually, I'm just finishing up the phonographs. That was the first thing we wanted to do, is get the phonographs photographed and described and ready to go, because then I'll be working on parts, advertising. We got John breaking down the library right now, which I'll show you in a little bit. Jim's over there working on cylinder records, photographing them and everything. So
now you pointed out, or you just said the library. Now, Allen Koenigsberg really was for lack of better words, I mean, he was like the phonograph guru who wrote a lot of the books and articles and periodicals. And as phonograph collectors, he taught us a lot.
Sure did.
Allen Koenigsberg was the word when it came to knowledge. What did he do for a living? Wasn't he a professor?
he was a professor. I think he taught Greek history. In fact, I was just going through stuff, and I ran across his midterm exam that he gave his students in July 7th, 1980, answering like, what are the names of the 2 messenger gods in the Iliad? It's like 16 questions.
Everybody knows that.
John, who...
Let's see if you know.
John probably knew the answer.
No, he looked at him, he said, oh my God. He said, I studied all this too. He said, I don't know any of this.
Not anymore.
It's interesting. So at any rate, his library. Let's walk over there for a minute if we could.
Sure.
So here we are in this section of the building, which is Koenigsberg Phonograph Library. All the books that he possessed for phonograph research on Edison, Columbia, and the origins of phonographs and so on and so forth. So we're going to be auctioning all this. Now, is this on the same day as the phonographs?
No, it'll be done the day before on the 29th.
Important note.
During the record auction.
Okay,
Very good.
so the record auction is the day before phonographs
Correct.
and accessories and so on. So books will be on the same day. How about advertising, pamphlets, and literature?
Most of that will go on the day of the phonograph.
Day of the phonograph. Day one is online only, which is going to be records, cylinder records,
Mhm.
probably no discs. If there are, that won't
Yeah,
be a lot.
he
Mainly
was- yeah,
cylinders.
he's not a big disc.
And his extensive library. Now, I assume these probably won't be sold as onesies.
Some will, some won't. It depends on, because some of them are volumes. Like, for instance, the complete edition of the Phonograph Monthly, that's going to be one.
I see.
The Edison papers, those will be one. Anything that's volume-wise. But then if there's more common books like, The Boy's Life and of such of Edison, we may group 2 or 3 books together and make nice little lots out of it.
Okay. So again, this is all day one. And then day two, which is the main day, is going to be phonographs. And boy, I saw an awful lot of very, very rare literature.
Oh, there's some great literature there. I mean, some early pamphlets, and especially a lot of the catalogs that Allen reproduced, he had the originals for.
And we're going to be selling
We're
the
going to be
originals.
selling the originals, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
we have some stuff in here that there's been a couple collectors that have been coming through here and asked if they could see a few of the items, and the literature more than anything is blowing them away because it doesn't exist.
Damn.
The way it's probably all going to be sequenced, we're going to start with some of the earliest phonographs first, and then like the tinfoil phonograph and such. So those will be like A, B, and C lots next to that because it all ties together.
If you've got a photograph of Edison with a tinfoil by Brady, that'll be next to that. You're not going to save that for
No.
some other.
No.
Okay.
Well, we'll try, and the way it's going to flow, I mean, there'll be phonographs and then maybe literature of that phonograph and maybe advertisements of that phonograph. So it's all going to flow real nice. It's not gonna
So,
be
for
boring.
example, if there's an 1888 Scientific America with a tinfoil phonograph on it, you'll probably be selling that right after you sell a tinfoil.
That's
phonograph.
correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
Not saving it later for a big literature pile.
No, it's going to be a nice flow. Everybody's going to have a nice, enjoyable day here.
Wow.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Wow, wow, wow.
Good.
Okay, we've got this collection coming up, but I'm already seeing phonographs that are not Koenigsberg's. So do you have another phonograph auction coming up already?
Already, we have stuff pouring in for the next one. I haven't set a date yet. It's probably going to be later in the fall.
So you're still taking consignments?
Oh, yeah. For the next one, yeah. Koenigsberg's is Koenigsberg's, and that's it.
Okay.
But no, because we have a lot of people who want to,
Get
we're
in.
doing good with phonographs. We got an audience for phonographs.
Sure do.
Well,
So
let's face it.
yeah.
This location, folks, this was the home
Yeah.
of the Antique Phonograph Show. If you're going to sell your phonographs anywhere, this, I have to say, is the place to sell. There's no better place to sell phonographs than right here at good old Donley Auctions, where the home of the Antique Phonograph Show was for 50 years.
Yeah.
And now the Phonograph Show is still in existence, and it is going to be at the Hyatt Hotel
Hyatt Hotel
in Schaumburg also.
on Gulf Road.
Yeah, at the Hyatt.
And I think the setup on that is July 31st, and then August 1st is the show.
Oh, really?
Friday and Saturday. Our auction's on Thursday.
Wow.
Wednesday, Thursday.
right? So all the guys will be in for it. They're all looking forward to it. I talked to a couple of guys today. They wanted to make sure that
They're coming out.
actually they asked when the preview was going to be for this because they'd hoped to view the records too. So
Yeah, so
we're going to have a
Tuesday.
preview for the
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a
I would think
record
so.
preview. That's been a big bone of contention. People have been worried, thinking that it was going to, they weren't going to have a chance to actually see the records, but you are
Tuesday,
having a
yes,
viewing. yeah.
Always.
we're just starting to gather the parts and break them down. So there's reproducers. I mean, rare horn rails or listening tube rails for phonographs. I mean, the average person doesn't know what this is, but right now the guys at home are going, "Oh, look at that thing," you know. So
And that guy at home has to have that same voice. Can you do that again?
Yeah.
look at this stuff.
Gotta have it.
Speaking tube, come to the phonograph auction when they're recording. That's a recording tube. It will go on the reproducer or on the recorder, not on the reproducer.
Go ahead.
And so when they're recording a blank on a wax blank, you speak into it, and that's how you gave your dictation.
And the listening tubes would have been
Right.
attached. I mean, this is mainly for commercial use when they'd have a phonograph out on location, and they could have as many as 12 people listening to it at the same time. But you have to remember, go back in time, put this all in perspective. Most people at this period of time in the 1880s, 1890s had never heard pre-recorded sound.
No.
It was brand new. People just couldn't believe this was even happening. So when they're listening to music through this, they're probably listening to pre-recorded sound for the first time in their life. What a big deal.
The first type of machines that were really available to the public were the electric machines down there. That's Edison Class M or Class E possibly, that we're getting ready. We're cleaning up a little bit for the auction. And the phonographs were primarily sold as business devices for dictation. They were never initially intended for home use. Well, sales were sluggish, right? And it didn't really take off like they thought. And a lot of phonograph companies were on the verge of bankruptcy when at the 1893 Columbian Exposition, they were demonstrating the phonographs for the businessmen as part of the fair, you know, to try and at the Edison booth to try and sell product. And somebody started singing songs into the recording blanks, and people were fascinated by that. Yeah. And really, that was the birth of it then. Once they figured out it was the music that people wanted, and that would become broad appeal. So once that was figured out, then it was off to the races with the phonograph. But you still had the problem here with the electric machines for home use. People didn't have electric in their home, so they were all battery powered. These batteries were very large and bulky, and they were filled with acid, you know. They gave off toxic fumes. If you knocked them over, you'd have sulfuric acid all over. So it wasn't until the late 1890s that a reliable spring motor was developed by a man by the name of Edward Ammett out of Waukegan, Illinois, of all places. Well, this is an Edison spring motor, which is the first model that Edison released with a spring motor. Well, this now made it practical to use in the homes, to be able to just wind up a machine. This could be sold anywhere in the world. So
think about how interesting this is. Thomas Edison was way too far ahead of his time. When he invented the phonograph, he tried to sell the public an electric phonograph first. He had to go backwards because society wasn't ready for that type of technology. Right. So he had to go backwards and put a spring motor in it so that we as the public were ready, because electricity was too far advanced for us, you know, when he was working with it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up so you can hear it play. Actually, we just, and this is a spring motor machine, very early Edison machine, which we're going to be part of the Allen Koenigsberg collection coming up in July that we're going to be auctioning off here. It's going to be an unbelievable auction. Allen Koenigsberg was probably the best known collector in the world. He was an authority on phonographs. He was a professor at New York University. I mean, the man was, he wrote books. I mean, so this is his collection. We'll show you some more of it later on.
But here's what happened. Okay, I'm sitting here with Mike a few minutes ago, and Mike is cleaning and getting this machine ready. He's describing it so that we can get it up online for sale for the auction. And all of a sudden, Mike looks at me and he said, "Look at this." He said, "Here I sit with the beginning, the very first form of technology for recording and music and everything. And here I am sitting with a computer listening to music at the same time that I'm inputting the dictation into my computer." This machine was first designed as a dictation device and then later became a music device. And Mike's doing it right here on his computer. I mean, here's the beginning and here's where we're at today.
Yeah, like 130 years later.
Just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, pretty cool. So
you want to
yeah, let's throw a horn
on here
and let's hear people hear what it sounds like.
He's working to his ears. Look at here, nigga. What y'all doing up in front of that parade, huh? You ain't nothing but old water guy. Lord, the way you were just slipping around. Like,
This is a comedy.
Not the ship without a sail. When people will be suffered on the
Again, it's hard for, with all of our modern technology today, it's very hard for us to understand just how exciting this machine was, because now for the first time, people in their home could have a machine that would sing to them, tell them jokes.
Political speeches.
Political speeches. I mean, bringing this entertainment to every corner of the world. It just, again, it's very hard for us to comprehend. The only thing that could possibly equal today our understanding of it is like the internet.
I was just looking at this one. It started out as an Edison blank record, but somebody recorded King Edward VIII on here. I don't know what period of time. We'll research that, but here it is. King Edward on a cylinder record.
So again, this is all part of the Allen Koenigsberg Collection coming up on July 30th, I believe.
That's correct, yeah.
And look forward, we're going to be launching the collection online in just a couple of weeks here. And we'll be doing more as we get closer to it.
So again, the beginning and where we're at today.
Yeah.
What a contrast.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to take it to the next level, now everybody's got the iPods. They're walking around with their earbuds or listening on their, not even iPods anymore. It's going beyond that. What are they listening to now on their phones, their iPhones, their iTunes?
I don't know. We're both dinosaurs.
Yeah,
We don't know what
but
they're listening
they have the wireless ear tubes, which is amazing because when you think of it, the first phonographs
to. Had listening to.
I was going through this box, and you have to go through everything when you come up with collections because you never know what you're going to find. So I'm going through this record cleaner box, and there's this little mitt in here for dusting your records off. And there's a piece of what's called glassine paper in there. And I see something behind it, so I lift it out, and what I find is she had hidden in there an original picture of Thomas Edison. That's Thomas Edison. That's Charles Kruesi, who built his first phonograph. That's his machinist, and a guy by the name of Edward Painter, who was a big supporter of Thomas Edison. This was taken by Matthew Brady in Washington, D.C. in 1878. It's actually a Brady studio portrait on there. I mean, I can't even imagine how few of these survive, let alone in private hands. Most of them are in museums and institutions. So this will be coming up as part of the auction too. This will be actually one of the first lots, because how we're going to do it is we're going to start with the earliest technology. So we'll have some tinfoil machines, and we'll have some photographs that go with it. And we'll kind of chronologically do everything along the line, advertisements, things like that. So it's going to be a real fun auction. He was in Washington demonstrating his machine to President Rutherford B. Hayes. Brady came over and photographed him. There was actually 3 different versions of the photograph. Actually, I have a sheet here that shows the 3 different photographs. They had Edison alone, they had Edison, Kruesi, and then Edison, Kruesi, and Painter. So he took 3 different photographs.
Okay,
So-
this is one of my favorite items coming up in the auction, Randy. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well,
She's
you know,
amazing.
and I don't mean to sound stupid, but we'll defer to Mike.
Okay,
Hey, Mike, could you come in here for a minute?
'cause she's not just your ordinary doll.
No, you're not. But Mike knows more about Edison dolls certainly than I do. But this is an Edison doll. And this is the phonograph, a cylinder phonograph from inside the Edison doll. But I know, Mike, you've researched Edison dolls and know more about these.
Yeah, it took them 10 years. It took them 10 years to come out with the doll.
So about what year did this come out?
I think it was in January of 1889 is when they first came out.
Okay, but I'm seeing a patent date on here of 1878. Why?
It was like 10 years in development and 17 patents, and it was just, they were having nothing but problems with doing it. Actually, this was the first thing before the phonograph. After the tin foil, it was the talking doll, because Edison said something about he was going to maybe be able to have dolls talk. So they formed the Edison Toy Company or whatever, and to perfect the talking doll. And it took them 10 years to come up with it. The cylinder records, we have one over here. You want to see a cylinder record that actually goes on it?
Sure.
These cylinder records are just as rare as the doll itself. It's just nothing more than a little wax ring.
Oh my God.
See how it's canvas lined?
I see. It goes right in
Yeah.
here.
See how it's canvas lined on that? That's because that was one of the problems we were having, was the records breaking. They would shrink and break. So they found
Show
out
that to the camera.
They found out by putting canvas
inside the lining of the wax ring with canvas, the cylinders would hold together. But they actually, you couldn't change the record. So whatever you bought was on it. I think they had 10 or 12 different nursery rhymes, and whatever was on it, that was it. You couldn't change the record.
Nursery rhymes?
And it was hand cranked, and they actually had young women recording each one separately.
Wow.
Time after time after time.
Did you mean they had to record each one of these separately?
Yes, they had young girls who were speaking into the phonographs. They made them in a long cylinder, and then they would slice them off. All right, and then they would mount the record up. But a girl would sit there and just recite the same nursery rhyme, you know.
So this was at the very beginning of sound recording.
Yes.
When it was not mass produced. Every single record had to be actually manufactured one at a time by somebody talking into a piece of wax.
So they would have a long wax cylinder, that diameter, and she would, whatever it is, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white. So you only recorded up to about 20 seconds is all that would hold. And then do it all over again.
She'd do it all over again.
Had a
And
little
then
lamb,
they'd cut
and
them.
then they'd slice them.
I'll
Wow.
be darned. Fascinating stuff.
Pretty neat.
Okay. Coming up July 30th.
Now, I know how scarce these are. Did they not sell a lot of them, or what happened?
They didn't. Records show that there was only about 2,000 ever sold because of the records wore out real fast, and the kids got bored with them. They scared the kids because of squeaky. You can go online and hear recordings of them. It would just traumatize a kid. And I think Edison called it his little monster because
Let me look at
the company ended up going broke.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even though it's somewhat of a success for Edison, it's also a failure at the same time.
Right. They only lasted, I think, just like a matter of a couple months. They were done.
Now imagine this. I mean, if there were only 2,000 of these sold, how many could exist?
Right.
I mean, realistically, a few hundred, maybe.
If you turn it around on the back of it, you can see. Now that's the mechanism that goes inside. It was the tin body. You can see the doll heads were purchased from a famous doll maker in France. So it's real human hair, and those were high quality dolls. I mean,
she's got a nice.
And again, look at the technology of this.
What's interesting to me though is when Karin saw this, first thing she mentioned is it's all tattered, but it's original.
That's all. It's
But-
original
So
clothing.
we got to
But
be very
here's-
careful with this.
Here's what she said. It's not very huggable.
No, they weren't.
And yeah, you think about that. I mean, what little girl really would have wanted
Right.
this? I mean,
And they were very expensive. They cost the equivalent of a man's week salary.
oh my
Weak
God.
salary for
Yeah.
a doll.
So that'd be like going out and spending $800 or $900 on a talking doll today. What do talking dolls cost? I mean, they're
I don't even know.
cheap.
I don't have any kids anymore. I don't know. Yeah, not expensive, that's for sure. They
I
do
don't
a
know,
lot
but I
more
heard
than
the
just
cost
talk.
of the Knicks tickets this last week.
Oh.
Holy smokes. This was a bargain.
Spark.
So at any rate, I wanted to show you this. I know, Susan, you said out of all the phonographs, you do like
her.
this the
I've
best.
always liked this, yeah.
Hmm.
I always thought it was an interesting invention.
Okay.
Does she have
So-
a name? Did they name the dolls? Like American Girl dolls all have names.
I
you know?
wonder.
I don't know.
We'll find out
Find
for the
out.
next podcast. That's going to be
I'll
Susan's
find out. My little
Susan's
project.
contribution to next week's podcast
Okay.
is what was the name of the Edison doll.
All right. Stay tuned for that.
So for now,
Annabelle. I think her name's Annabelle. I'm Susan.
I'm just talking doll.
I'm Annabelle, the talking doll. Annabelle, the talking
And I'm
doll.
Mike.
now we have no hope
Oh,
of selling it.
do it.
And
No, cut it and do it again.
Do it again.
And I'll do the point
Susan.
and make her arm go up.
Okay.
Okay. What we call her?
And then I'll go like
I'll
this to
tell-
Randy, like
Okay.
this.
Okay. Go ahead, Red. Go ahead, Red.
So for now,
I'm Susan.
I'm a talking doll.
okay, enough.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Randy Donley, and we'll see you in the We hope. Maybe not after that podcast.
I'm gonna go hug her. She needs to be hugged.